In this video, you are going to learn the time value of notes and rests. Let's jump into it. Time value of notes and rests. A way for you to understand the time value of notes and rests is to picture in your head a cake, like you can see over here. The cake is represented by this note that is called the whole note or semibreve, and the duration of the sound lasts for 4 beats, 4 counts. Below the semibreve, we have the half note or minim that lasts for 2 beats and represents half of the cake. Then below that, we have the crotchet or quarter note that represents half of the minim, so it's a quarter of the whole cake. And below the crotchet, we have the quaver or eighth note, and is half of the quarter note, it's eighth of the whole cake. And right at the bottom, we have the 16th note or semiquaver, that it's half of the quaver or 1/6 of the whole cake. If you picture this in your mind, then it will be easy for you to quickly learn the name of the notes and rests and their corresponding time values. A note value indicates the relative duration of a note or rest using the texture or shape of the note head, the presence or absence of a stem, and the presence or absence of a flag. The name of the notes and rests are different in American English than they are in British English, so to avoid any confusion, both are explained in this table. The table is divided into 5 rows and 5 columns. Each of the rows covers a specific note, and the columns breaks down into different sections. The American and British English names over here, the notes or sounds, and rests or silence, and the length or duration. Now let's break this table row by row. In the first row, we have the whole note or semibreve. This note has only a note head, as you can see here. It's all white and does not have any stem and flag. The semibreve rest looks like an upside down hat. On the stave, you draw the rest below the 4th line. The semibreve rests and the note lasts for 4 beats. I think you still remember it represents the whole cake, right? In each row, we are going to listen to the duration of the corresponding note. Also, have in mind that you will listen to a drum loop, always as a background. It's acting as a metronome, and a metronome is a device that gives you a solid and steady beat. We'll start on a first bar and continues until the end of the example. In this way, you will have a better understanding of the beat duration of that specific note. Let's then have a listen to the length of semibreve. So this note or rest lasts for 4 beats. In the second row is the half note or minim, has a white note head, and this one, in comparison to the semibreve, it has a stem but no flag. The minim rest is similar as the semibreve, but the hat is not upside down, but it really looks like a hat, and it's written above the 3rd line on the stave. The minim represents half of the cake. Let's have a listen to the length of the minim. This note or rest lasts for 2 beats. In the third row is the quarter note or crotchet. This note has a black note head and a stem and no flag. Pay attention to the crotchet rest. It's different from the previous ones and is written in the middle of the stave. The crotchet represents a quarter of the whole cake. Let's have a listen to the length of the crotchet. This note or rest lasts for 1 beat. In the 4th row is the 8th note or quaver. This note has a black note head, has a stem, and it has a flag. This is the first note that we encounter so far that has a flag. And as you can see, the flag is slightly curved. The quaver rest is also different from the previous ones. It's written in the middle of the stave. It has a flag, but in a different direction, and it also has a stem in a diagonal angle. The quaver represents an eighth of the whole cake. Let's have a listen to the length of the quaver. This note or rest lasts for a half of the crotchet beat. In the fifth row is the 16th note or semiquaver. This note also has a black note head and an extra flag compared to the quaver, so in total the semiquaver has 2 flags. The semiquaver rest is written in the middle of the stave with 2 flags, and it's also pointed in a diagonal angle like the quaver. The semiquaver represents 1/16 of the whole cake. Let's have a listen to the length of the semiquaver. This note or rest lasts for a quarter of a crotchet beat. The following example is a duet for piano and drum set. Very special duet. The piano will play the notes and the drum set will give us a steady beat. So, for you to understand the drum set instruments, we have here the bass drum in the first space, the snare drum on the third space, and the hi-hat above the fifth line. This is the famous rhythm tree. This is also another way for you to understand the division and duration of the notes. I always give this example to all my students. This diagram shows you how the notes are related. So let me break this down for you very quickly. On top of the rhythm tree, we have the whole note or semi-breve with 4 beats. Below, we have the minim, has 2 beats, and we need 2 minims to make 1 semi-breve. Below the minims, we have the crotchet, has 1 beat, and we need 4 of those to make 1 semi-breve. And I think now you got the idea how it works. Now the next step that I recommend you to do is to practice drawing the appropriate notes and rests to make the following equations. You can copy this to any paper you have at home or use any other method that you find more convenient for you. I hope you find this video useful. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel. If you want more exercises to test your knowledge, download my free Music Theory Grade 1 workbook. There will be a link below this video. Thank you so much, and I see you next time. Bye bye.